everyone, and welcome back again to another week of Nexus Grain Market Updates. It is Tuesday morning, January 13 at 11:19 a.m. Let's get to the market after yesterday's fireworks. Corn right now is up a half a penny across the Nexus terminals. I am $3.94 to $3.97 for a bushel of corn across my major railheads. Soybean right now is down 4.5 pennies. I am $9.64 across the various Nexus rail terminals. So let's just get right to the news. The market obviously fell considerably yesterday. Old crop corn down 24 cents, new crop corn down about 12. So the market's doing what it's supposed to do, put more carry into the market when more bushels are present that need to be carried. So how did we get there? Really, it comes down to this. The market was looking for 89.8 million acres of harvested corn. What was reported yesterday, 91.2. How did we get there? Where did 1.2 million acres of corn really come from? Very, very good question. And really, it comes down to estimations and why we were looking for that. When I dig into the last 7 years, and I included 2025, and I looked at the amount of corn that's cut for silage, the amount of corn that's picked for grain, and there's always a certain amount of corn that's abandoned. And the numbers are actually kind of surprising. Our average amount of corn acreage that is abandoned year after year from last year preceding is right at 2%. Okay? And curiously, to get to that 89.9 million, you have to force a 2% abandonment number. The number that was published yesterday, 1.3 million, that's 1.33. Never in recent history, and again, I'm going to go back to 2019 as the market ever really come that close to that. The closest we ever got was a 1.6. The greatest number was just about a 3, 2.96. So we're gonna find out as we go forward that maybe that number is a little optimistic. I sit here in the middle of Iowa and I look at the record number of corn acres planted, 98.8. I know about a lot of that occurred in the West, and but when I really look at the when I look at the quality of acres planted, those tend to be the marginal acres. When we see such a shift, a greater shift in acres, and those tend to be maybe a little more abandoned than our local acres. So I challenge that number. So we'll see how the market digests this over time. The acres picked for grain, 91.258. Really, the bump in the yield, that didn't surprise me a whole lot. I would say most of my colleagues, most of the commercials in the industry were looking for perhaps a little bit of a maybe a downward adjustment from the 186.5, maybe more of a 185.5. But really the main cause of the fireworks is the acreage. The soybean market really just followed suit. I don't see anything about a 350 million bushel carryout. If anybody's been listening for the past couple of months, we took this thing from a 290 to a 350. Anybody that was surprised by that really hasn't been paying very close attention with the amount of export business that has been accumulating that we didn't have. So I don't really see anything particularly shocking with the bean numbers, other than the bean market just kind of followed the corn market along. I will tell you the export numbers, really pretty good. I dug those up a little bit ago, and 58.7, yesterday's export number for corn. That was right at the top end of the trade estimate. Soybeans, 56.2 million bushels of corn packaged up and shipped out of the country, soybeans. And that actually exceeded the trade estimate of 29.4 to 46.8. Corn right now, the corn market, the cash corn market is actually fairly strong. We're ahead of pace by 11% to hit our export number for the year. 3.548 billion bushels now is what we're on pace to get to versus 3.2 versus yesterday's balance sheet. Soybeans, pretty much the other side of that coin. 1.321 is where we're on pace for, using a 1.635 billion bushel export number. So we have some work to do to get back on pace. And quite frankly, where we're at right now with soybeans, we probably won't. That's really about all I have to tell you about the grain markets, what we've seen, what we've experienced the past couple of days at least. I do encourage you to reach out to your favorite Nexus professional for all of your crop input needs and all of your grain needs. We here at Nexus, we appreciate your business. We appreciate you as a customer, and we want to get to know you. So thank you very much for tuning in, and talk to you next week.